Hey guys. Mm. Good evening. Whilst I continue to prepare myself. Whew, it is hot in here. Hi guys. Okay. Happy Wednesday, you beautiful souls. Welcome to Free Flame Thoughts. If you are new to this page, my name is Silva. I'm your host. And this page is entitled Free Flame Thoughts. This evening we have a special guest who goes by the name of Lady Diane. We'll be discussing her autobiographical life story. We'll be discussing her autobiographical life story, her life in Haiti, how she evolved and escaped from Haiti, and also her new book released entitled The Magic Mirror. Okay. Hello guys. Good evening. Okay, so let's give it a moment for Instagram to warm itself up, so to speak. Hi guys, how you doing? Greetings, Sim. Nice for you to join us. Lady Di, throw me up some hearts if you're ready to come through. I'm just readjusting my technicality. What's going on, Sims? Okay, Lady D, feel free to add yourself in, or I can come get you. Let me know which is easier for you. Good evening to everyone who's on the live already. Hello. Welcome to you new viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hey, Lady D, how are you, girl?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
I like your hat.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, once again. Again, I'm just going to repeat things through the night because people pop on and off all the time. Thank you for joining us this evening, this midweek on Free Flame Thoughts. For those of you who are new on this page, my name is Silva, and of course, I'm your host. Today's special guest goes by the name of Lady Diane. We will be discussing her autobiographical life story, how she grew up in Haiti, what life was like for her, how she evolved and escaped, and also her new publication book release entitled The Magic Mirror, and so much more. Lady D has popped off. Let's try and get you back on. Let me wake myself up because in this house is like a furnace right now. It's either that or menopause is coming early, girl.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. It's just
That's all right. Lady D, let's start off by asking you how you are and how you spent your afternoon leading up to this live talk this evening.
I had a busy day, but I'm fine. I'm blessed to be here.
Well, tell us a bit about your day. Tell us a bit about your day. What did you do today?
I was working at home. I went to the park for an hour and then came back still working, and I had to get ready to meet you.
Super. So guys, I'm going to be saying hi to you. I'm going to throw you up some hearts right now. And then throughout the evening, we're definitely going to find a moment to speak to you. But what I'm not going to do is interrupt the free flow and constantly be doing comments. I won't be doing that. So, because it really disturbs the flow of things. So we're going to always find time in between our snatch breaths to check out what you want to say, ask what questions, and just, you know, interact. Please feel free. All right,
No
Dee,
problem.
welcome to Free Flame Thoughts. It's technically your second time here because we've done the poetry thing and you joined me on that a few weeks back, wasn't it? Yeah? But it's your first official talk. Yeah, it's your first official talk today, as in, like, you know, chit chat with Silva / interview style. So I have a look. I always have warm-up questions I love to ask people because I think it allows us to unlayer the typical types of interviews that people do. And I like people to just feel like I'm their co-pilot and we are unlayering ourselves like an onion, and we can just take our time to just warm into the conversational climax. Huh?
I said I've got many layers, so let's do it.
Girl, let's go. Girl, let's go. All right. So let's start off by, who is Lady Diane?
Well, Lady Diane is a mother of a beautiful daughter.
Okay.
A Haitian living in the UK, fashion designer. I write motivational stories for children, especially for bedtime, in order, you know, to boost their self-esteem. I am a lover. I love life. I love to share. I am all in one.
Is that who you are? These sounds like, I love this question, and it's a bit naughty of me because I always use this question as a bit of a dynamic probe, because I think that we often use a lot of handles to describe to say who we are, and that's really what we do, not necessarily who we are. Would you say? So, and I love this question because every time I ask it, okay, a friend of mine named Sandy, she might comment later. She says to me, "Do you ever interview yourself whilst interviewing someone else?" Because the questions that I ask, it's quite a deep question, and what that means is when I say, "Okay, so who is John?" for an example, who's Lady Diane? I'm a teacher. Is that who we are? Or is that our handles? If that was taken away, who would we be?
It's true.
Yeah? I'm going to look at your comments later, yeah? So that's not me ever, guys. That's not, when I do this, it's a little bit naughty of me, but I'm very thought-provoking. So I think for a long time, we have this rendition of who we are with so much attachments. And if you kind of think about, well, the person's no longer a wife anymore, they're no longer a doctor anymore, it all gets taken away. You actually feel lost because you've attached yourself with so much handles. Yeah? So I have many handles, but none of them are who I am. But I love the fact when you said I'm a lover, because without anybody, that's actually the core of who you are.
That's you, yeah.
Yeah, I love this question. A bit naughty of me, I know, but I do it all the time because it helps people think about, yeah? Okay, so,
I like it too.
Yeah, I know you're Haiti, you're from you're Haitian. I can never pronounce the word, yeah? You were born there, your folks are from there? Is that your origin, yeah?
Haiti.
Okay, and that's where your parents were from?
Yeah, both of them, born and raised.
Okay, so what was you like as a child?
Ooh, at first, I was like any other child, happy, very curious. I always question life. I always do. I still do. Adventurous as well. I was scared of nothing. But, you know, sometimes things change. And after, you know, things that happened to me, I became a quiet child. I was a bit scared of expressing my feelings. So I had a bit of...
I know one thing you always get. I know one thing. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I've done a lot of research on you, and I know one thing that you were scared of, but I won't tell you right now.
Okay.
She said, I was always scared of monsters and sea monsters and by the way, guys, I'm gonna blame Lady Diane for something here tonight. That you know, I woke up at stupid o'clock this morning, like 4. It's getting out of hand this early mornings, but I've trained myself to be a morning person when I never was, and now 4 a.m. when I literally am up. It's crazy. There's no need for it. 5, 6, I love it. I go out, I see the horses, whatever. I went swimming this morning, you know. But I thought, you know what? I'm up. I'm not going back to sleep now. I was listening to prayers and whatever. And I put on Lady D, as journalists would do. I'm a wannabe, I guess. And I was always research people I speak to when I've got, you know, a moment to do so. And I was listening to her and I thought, Lady Diane, I just want to go back to sleep right now, but you've got me, I'm locked. I'm locked in this story and I can't move. And my eyes are crying and this is getting out of control. And so I was watching you this morning. Yeah, I was watching you this morning. So,
I keep a lot of people awake, but I guess it's in a positive way. So I'm happy to share.
Of course. I mean, everyone expressed themselves so differently, but I think when we're sharing an autobiographical part of us, it's no longer an act. There's the difference. Every other video that we do is going to be Who my name is?
Yeah.
When do you understand the performance for the camera? But that was very autobiographical. So I accumulated.
I know
quite
which
a
one
few,
you saw.
and you know which one I saw, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so I've just asked you what you like as a child. Did I ask you what you like as a child? Let's repeat. Let's refresh people's memory. What was you like as
No
a child?
problem. So I was born in Haiti. I was a happy child at first, you know, adventurous. I was curious. I was scared of nothing. The world seems to be so big, and I just wanted to know what's going out there, you know. And then something happened. I became a very sad, quiet child. I was scared of expressing myself. So I think I've been through joy and pain.
How interesting. I have a tattoo right here. I've got too many for you to even understand which one I'm talking about.
I know, yeah. I was going to ask you.
Okay, I've got too many, and this is not even half of it, yeah? And there's two masks that are kissing, and underneath it says joy and pain, exactly what you just said.
Wow.
But the other mask is actually me. It's got the lipstick, it's got the lip stud, and it's actually, well, I haven't got mine on today, and it's actually two people kissing where you have the pleasure and the pain that comes through life. So I quite like that. It's a balance, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So how would your friends and family describe you? I mean, I asked you a moment ago what was like as a child. In the here and now, how would your friends and family describe you as a soul?
They will say that I am a strong person, resilient, caring, loving,
okay,
inspiring.
That sounds like all the great stuff. Can't be real. There's got to be some negative in that. Throw it in. Let's go.
We have some negativity as well.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to tell you now. I'm a traditional interviewer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on
I
who
can
I'm
be a bit bossy sometimes.
Yeah. I want to know when I ask people to describe themselves to me. First of all, I got my friend Sandy on the live, and I always throw this to Sandy. Sandy and I are the kind of characters where don't ask us anything if you don't want to know the truth. We just don't ever ask. Yeah? So when people say, what are you like? I would tell you all the negatives about me. And people were like, because we always say, I'm a creative, I'm a mother. It's not realistic. Tell me about the devil in you. Let's go.
Wow. I am a lion. I'm more of a lion, I guess.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Like, I like to protect what's mine, and I will do anything to protect them.
Okay, so tell me, to be fair. I know that you are, they would say you're strong, you're determined, you're resilient. On the other side, everyone has the light and the darker shades of a soul. I would like to know something that you might not even tell anybody, or what you do, you know, there's got to be a part of you that someone would say, or even your partner, ex-partner, something
question, you know,
that is not like you don't, because like I can say, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Okay, let me do what most people do. I'm really passionate, guys. I'm a nurturer, I'm a lover, I'm loyal. That sounds all too made up. What about the other side? I'm a fucking beast. How about that? You play with me, it's gonna be a wrap for you. Yeah, it's gonna be a wrap for you. I'm a lover, never been left by any man in my life. But guess what? The point is, what am I like?
I don't want to scare people, you know.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. That's actually, this is why I love what I do. I'm real. So when I can say, oh, I've been this, no man's ever left me, but what would they say on the negative? She's obsessive as hell. Her house is OCD. We can't take her. She's just too much. Why? What is it? What do you understand what I'm saying to you? There's got to be underbelly sides of people that needs work on, that people don't see. The horrible side, the crying, the woman that's on her period where people can't take it. There's got to be other sides to who we are. We can't all be like, I'm an earth angel.
I try to be.
Well, I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous, but on the other side, I am an obsessive freak. And I think that's a negative. I'm a perfectionist. That's a negative to me. If you see how I live, if you see how I live, you'd be like,
I
my
things
God.
to be done the way I want them to be done. Like, and sometimes my sister fights with me over that. It's like any little things, it's not that deep, but for me, it's deep. Maybe it's a little bit of OCD. I like things to be straight, to be in order.
Girl.
Like my wardrobe, my house, my files. I just like, because I feel like whatever you see outside, it reflects what you feel inside. I want to 100%
control
what is going on inside. So I can be a bit stressful to live with. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I stress myself.
Now that shit's real because I get on my own nerves, literally on a daily basis. Hello.
We do sometimes, yeah.
The viewers are like, she's not all there, is she? Yeah. I'm just holistic. Guys, listen, anyone that knows me in real life will be like, that's Silver. There's no act for no camera. Yeah, I am exactly as you see me is what I'm like in every day, what I'm like at work, what I'm like at home. So thank you for sharing that. I have to be a bit troublesome today. I'm feeling a bit playful. So yeah. Welcome, guys. Welcome as you keep coming in. And please go tell a friend that we're doing a live tonight. And Lady D is joining us. For those who've just jumped on, this is Lady Diane. This is her autobiographical life story. And we are just warming up with some 5 questions, yeah? So we've now covered like what you like as a child, how you describe yourself, but also on the flip side, how other people would describe you, yeah? So now let's get into what thoughts keep you awake at night? What type of thoughts keeps you awake at night, would you say?
Is your naughty one or?
Girl. You're not ready for my, listen, you're not ready for my naughty. It's not late enough. If you want to go there, let's go.
Like, every time I go to bed, I'm always happy, you know, I had a nice day. Even if it wasn't so nice, but I'm still blessed enough to, you know, to be there. But yeah, my last thought is, what can I do to be a better person tomorrow? And sometimes, you know, like when you're creative, you may understand, you have ideas. So I'm just there trying to figure myself out, trying to sleep. And sometimes I just can't. So I would say, yes, trying to be a better person tomorrow.
That's wonderful. I have my friend Vincent on the live and he just said, that's Silver. So what he's confirming is, this is her off camera. The only difference with me off camera is I probably look like a proper, like, you know, like my twin sister, which I don't have, which means I don't look all made up. I'm proper home, pigtails and all this kind of stuff. But he just said, that's Silver. And let's do a few comments before we get into it. Yes, I've just started, yeah?
No
and
problem.
Sim has just done some laughing faces. Sim, tell them, please. I know you don't know me like that, Sim, but Sim definitely knows, like, I'm very rudely. I'm like, don't message me in the morning, people. I'm having my meditation. Contact me after 10 o'clock. I am very much Silver. I'm like this all the time. So people know what I'm like. Oh, where's all the comments gone? Can I go back? Can I go back? All right, let's do a few seconds for comments, guys. I want to get into the next phase, the next stage of life in Haiti. So before we get into that layer, let's go and see what people want to say. Okay. Sim says hi from before. I sent out some ways. Sim says, getting ready for an epic show. Thank you, Sim. That's Simply Divine.
Simply Divine is always in the building supporting.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's good to have people who support people and Sim, big up yourself because you very much are like that. And I appreciate that. And it's nice to have that rapport with different people, especially different hosts that do what you do. And hi, Sandy. All right. Are you ready for the next phase, which is talking about life in Haiti? Please share with us your rendition of what life, all the way back, psychodynamic, all the way back to the past, was
I don't
like
have any
for
tissues,
you.
yeah?
Listen, girl, I already shed tears this morning, but we can go at it once again if you like, together.
No problem.
So let's talk, yeah, let's go into as far back as you can remember. So we're talking about
I will change it to what was life like in Haiti as a child, because I did not really stay that long. I left, I was 8.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's go back to the Lady D as a little girl and what your recollection is, and you can share with us from that point of view, and then so on and what life is back like, then we can escalate from there.
No problem. So once upon a time, Lady D was little Diane, a little girl who was born in Haiti, in a town called Akin, in south of Haiti. Coming from a very difficult background, because, you know, back home, my own family, we did not really have much. My mother was 19 when she had me. She had to leave me behind when I was, if I can remember, 14 months old. Before she left, my dad left first. I was not even one yet, in order to get better life, you know, to feed the family. And then when I was 14 months old, my mom had to leave me behind. I stayed with a very loving grandmother, which I thank God and I thank the universe every single day, because out of millions, it was her. Life was pretty cool, pretty nice. Like I said, I used to run, go to the river, go to different plantations to get bananas, fruits. I used to love feeling the sun on my face. But the moment I used to love in particular was nighttime. You know, when it's very hot and you have that breeze on your face, sometimes it rains. I remember I used to run outside and feel the rain on my face and ask my grandma, is it because God is crying? Oh. She would be laughing and she would be saying, maybe because you were naughty this morning, that's why God is crying. And then she would smile.
Oh, that is too cute.
So that's the moment I always go back to when I need to connect with myself. So it was pretty cool. We have this saying, as we said back home, which is l'union fait la force, meaning unity is strength. And that's something I noticed growing up. Like I said, we didn't have much, but whatever little we had, we used to share with everyone else that has less than we had. So I used to always wonder, what's out there for me for when I grow up? When am I going to see my mom? I spent 6 years of my life without my mom, without hearing her voice, without goodnight kisses. I missed her. Throughout the years, I started to not remember her. I started to reject her. Because while I was missing her, a lot of things happened to me.
We're going to get into that. Yeah, don't worry. Take your time. Take your time.
A lot of things happened and my happiness was stolen. My innocence was taken away violently from me. I stopped dreaming. I started having nightmares. I did not enjoy, like I said in the video, lemonade anymore because it was always too sour. Nothing was sweet. They stole my smile. They stole my comfort. So I have been sexually abused at the age of 5 by a person who was supposed to protect me, look after me. When it happened, you know, sometimes you're watching a movie and you see everything in slow motion. When it happened after that, days after that, a year after that, everything was in slow motion. I feel like I was trapped at that moment. I could not get away from it. And not knowing how to talk about it or what even we call it, it was very difficult because I started to blame myself. And I started saying to myself that, oh, maybe you deserved it. Maybe that's why your mother doesn't want you. Maybe that's why even your dad left you. They all left you because you're just nothing. You're just here for entertainment. You're just here to please someone in whatever way they want to be pleased, and then they just, you know, throw you away. What was very hard now when I go back is the fact that I felt so lonely, but also so scared. Because, you know, children are scared of nothing. And this person was taking my days away, but also taking my nights away, because at night I was having nightmares. I was left with that fear. But I was also ashamed without knowing at the time that I was ashamed. I was scared. I didn't want to offend my grandma because this person has to look after me in order for her to go and do whatever she had to do to feed us. So I kept it for myself for a very long time. I grew into that shame, that rejection, and lack of love, lack of self-esteem. So yeah, that's what my childhood was like. I left Haiti when I was going to.
Can I stop you there? Let me help you take a snatch breath. I
No
just want
problem.
it to be, yeah, sorry. I just want it to be very still in that moment because it's such a case sensitive area topic that I didn't want to stop your flow. But at the same time, I want to encourage you to have a very slow climax as we go through the formulations of this talk. So far you're talking about, because I was going to ask you like a little later, when I watched two videos of yours. One was entitled Self-Discovery. And I thought to myself, I'm going to ask her why an accumulation of time she speaks about being scared and not wanting to be left with men. But it was evident with me why that was without even ever knowing you. When a woman speaks like that, something's happened. So I thought I'm going to go into that a little bit later, but you've covered most of that for us. So thank you for sharing that. I want to go back a little bit where you say in your video Self-Discovery, where you speak about your childhood and many points you've just touched, and you say you ran away basically between age 7 and 8. Is that correct? So this was clearly after the abuse. Did running away have anything to do with the abuse you experienced?
So running away, when I first mentioned it in the video, is like, because I left home, went to a different country and another country. I just felt like all my life I was just running away. But really, truly, I wasn't running away from places. I was trying to run away from myself.
Yeah. So when you say running away, where did you run to at 7 and 8? Because as I watched your video, 2 videos this morning specifically, you speak about this is the part that I found very fascinating. You say you was at your grandma's, your grandma's like your mother because she raised you. And is your grandma still with us? Is she still alive?
She's no longer here.
Okay, well, grateful to God because she's clearly done a lot for you, and that's who you classified as mum, wasn't it? And you speak of a man or two who arrived at your grandma's house and there was confusion for you. And you speak about they showed her a picture and it had your mother, and you was always taught, allegedly, if someone turns up with a picture of your mother and certain characteristics in the picture, that you have to trust that person and follow what they say. Yeah. And I was like, how does that work? If someone turns up at the door and someone says, here's a picture, and then that's meant to be a code for, right, this is what we do when this ever happens. Yeah. And then your grandma says, right, basically pack up, you've got to follow these men. And you're like, I'm really scared. Who are these men? I'm not even comfortable around men. And you go from, just to share a bit more, you go from, going on this long journey, not remembering most of it because you're blanked out of what's going on. And then you're thinking, am I going to meet my mum again? Yeah. So let me pause there to allow you to share that element of the story. Can you tell us about, well, let's go back a little bit because people hasn't really heard about what it was like in Haiti itself, in terms of what was it like in that country being raised. I know you spoke about later on having a TV when you went to meet your mum, which you didn't have before. So what was it like living in that country? Then we can go on to that journey of going to this long journey, then of meeting your mum again.
No problem. So we didn't have, TV, phones. So it was just like, I remember the first house we had, we took like maybe 2 years to be able to just have like 4 walls, So first thing what we do is having the roof, then the wall, brick wall. And I remember, funny enough, when I used to be scared because we didn't have toilet inside. So when I used to be scared to go outside to the toilet, I would wait on the floor because it was just ground. Now sometimes I think about it and I'm just laughing. And I'm like, girl, you came from very, very far, So
let me ask you a quick question. Yeah? Are you the girl now then who loves, I know you love nature because I've watched videos of you who love it like me. Are you the girl now that's comfortable to go and wee in the bush? Like if there was no toilets around?
Listen, I adapt wherever I go, but I love nature. I love nature.
I started doing that all now, even though I never lived like you. My mum lived like you. Yeah, I love all that. I'm in the forest, I'm going for a quick wee.
I actually do. I love all that.
So carry on. Sorry, guys. I know, TMI. Okay, go on.
But the one thing I like before, everything that happened to me is like we used to come together. We used to play games into... like at night with no lights. I don't know how we did it, but we used to do like any type of game. It was just joyful because, as children, that's why I said I have to say it as a child, because if an adult tell about their experience, it would be on adults. I don't have the adult experience of Haiti. But
Yeah.
as a child, everything was big. Everything was an adventure. It was just peaceful at first. We didn't really care about nothing. We just wanted to be free. So I remember that natural side of Haiti that I really love, because I feel like now we have so much, but are we really happy?
So you felt like life in itself may have been a little bit underprivileged in terms of no TV and indoor toilet like my mum would have experienced as a child, but then you also had a lot of fun. Yeah. So tell me that moment that I touched on when that security of grandma's house suddenly stopped and these men arrived at the door. Start from there for me, please.
So before they came, I got to the point where I just, I was like, okay, that's what's going to be my life. I'm going to be sometimes happy, but most of the time miserable. I lost all hope of seeing my mother again. So when the men came, it was two of them. They were talking to my grandma, but, I was in the corner trying to understand, but I could not hear what they're saying. And my grandma is approaching me. But I remember I've been prepared before about the picture. So they approached me, showing me the picture and make me understand that whoever showed me that exact picture, tell me my mother's name, I would have to follow the person without asking questions.
Just like that. Wow. That's
just
so
like
sweet.
that. Just like that. And I turned to my grandma, but I wasn't talking. I was just hoping that she will reassure me. I turned to her with confusion, a lot of the questions that I kept inside of me. She was also crying. So I thought, okay, that's it. I'm going to die, But then I'm thinking, yeah, but she loves me. She will never do such things to me. So I followed the man, hoping that it's going to be my mother on the other side. And then I would start from fresh again. I just need to...
No, please take your time. In this moment, while you take your time, and I encourage you just to be floetic. And this is what this is all about, guys. And take a moment. This is a part of the free flow. Take a moment. I do this platform as I continue to expand upon what I enjoy doing to soul connect with people. This is what it's all about. I'm not interested in putting on any act for myself or anybody else. So whenever someone has a moment where they feel like they're going to just be spilling, sharing tears, I embrace it. It's healing. It's encouraging. And this is what Free Flame Thought is all about. Proceed, my sister.
So followed those men. I was from the countryside, the south of Haiti, and we had to travel all the way to the capital called Port-au-Prince. I think it's 3 or 4 hours, depending on the day, the weather. But as a child, I felt like it was forever. Sometimes I said to my daughter, give me 5 minutes. She's telling me 5 minutes is too long, mommy. So, yeah. So you can imagine as a child,
a pretty girl. She's so pretty.
I was scared of even eating because my grandma always told me not to eat from strangers. And those people are strangers. She told me to trust them, but they're still strangers. So I was fighting with myself. They asked me if I wanted food. I did eat at some point, but I was really scared. I was scared of everything. But still, I was holding on to that prayer. I am going to see my mother. So this was for me like, that's the sacrifice. That's the last one. You're going to suffer once, but then at the end, you're going to see that loving mother and she will take care of you.
Is this the first part of the journey where you go into the car and before you end up at a woman's house? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Proceed. Carry on.
Yeah, I'm just taking some breaks. So
that's all right,
now,
darling.
Like I said, and up to right now, I don't know how I left Haiti physically to find myself to Suriname, which is a different country.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did, how it happened. It's black for a reason that I'm trying to find out, but it's not coming yet. I found myself in front of this door where it's a woman, and I felt light because I was just traveling with men around me all the time. I was a bit scared at first as well because she's still a stranger, but it was better. I felt like maybe because of the bond I had with my grandma, it was another woman, so I felt better, yeah? Now, I think I stayed there for about a week. I can't remember at all. Another guy come, show me the same picture, and You know, sometimes you're just there, you all relax, but then something happened, your heart just kind of like squeeze. You feel like your chest has been pressed in and you can't breathe anymore. So that's how I felt. I felt like my little chest was just dying. I was dying. That's the word. I felt like I was dying once more. And then I was just thinking, okay, maybe this time it's going to be my mom. The first time it wasn't my mom. The second time it wasn't my mom. So maybe this third time is going to be my mom on the other side. While I was traveling from Haiti to all the way to French Guiana, one thing people have to understand is everything was new for me. It was my first time seeing a car. It was my first time seeing everything. And it was just scary. Everything was big. And I was also a small child. So now we got to that big river, which is all black. Where I'm from in the countryside, we have beaches, but it's see-through water. Yeah. But I've never been so close to water in my life. And they had this big ferry. I can see like all the cars going in. And I was just thinking, that's a monster.
That's what the monsters. Yeah. I thought that was so
me to the monster. But the guy was discussing something with someone on the boat and came back to me and said, we have to go to the other side. When we get to the other side, which was even more scary for me, we had to travel in that little, I think we call it kayak. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you were saying.
So I had to travel in that little kayak with men around me. I was shaking, but I was shaking inside because I didn't want them to see I was vulnerable, to see that I was scared. So I was there. Feels like the other side was a long time. I can't tell you how long it is. I will have to go back, and I'm planning on going back to this journey as a woman, as an adult. But at some point, they gave me something to scoop water out because water was coming through the kayak. So I was scooping water out, and I just felt like my whole life was just running away from me, my soul. But at the time, I didn't know words. I didn't know how to describe things. So I felt like I was just dissolving myself. I was just leaving everything I know behind, everything that I am behind. I'm leaving some phase, but I'm taking on other phase as well while I'm going. Which the other side now, another guy come and show me the same picture again. There was a car, came out of the car, showed me the picture, and I'm just hoping that in the car it's going to be my mother, but it wasn't my mother. It was another guy with this guy that showed me the picture. So I'm there. You know what? At this point, let's just go and see what's gonna happen, because I just can't do it anymore. I can't hope anymore and always being disappointed.
And you were saying in the video that you felt like, I'm going to die. I don't know who these men are. I'm going to die.
Yeah, that's the constant feeling I had from the time I left my grandma. I left my home. I'm going to die, but I was still hoping for the best. And every time the best wasn't happening, the best was seeing my mom, being with her. I was just thinking, okay, I'm just going to die at some point. So
and at the time, had anyone explained to you why your mum had to leave and why you were raised by them?
Not at all.
Okay. Do you know
what
now?
I had is she's going to come back soon. But I'm going to go back to the day she left, because I remember that day. I don't remember the day before, but as a child, as a person, that is my first souvenir. That's the first thing I can remember, is my mother leaving me behind. I don't remember my dad from before, but I remember my mom. Yeah. She tricked me. She gave me something to give to my grandma. But you know, like, you feel things. It's like sometimes I try to trick my daughter, but you feel you have a connection that you're feeling what's going to happen.
Intuitivity.
Yeah. So I said to her, I dropped the thing on the floor and I said to her, I know you are leaving and I know you're never going to come back.
And what age were you then?
14-month-old.
And you said all that? You verbalized that?
I was
14 months.
Bright. I was very bright and very advanced for my age.
14 months?
Yeah. The only thing I didn't do early, having teeth. I didn't have any teeth early. That's the only thing I didn't do early.
Oh, that's all right. You're doing good now, girl.
I walked fast. I was like, I was not even one. I was speaking.
And when you said that, what was Mum's response when you said, I know you're leaving?
All I can see, I don't know if she said something, but she was crying. She was crying.
Can you remind us, whilst you're in that moment, what the video is called on YouTube, and you were describing what I call a book that needs to be turned into a movie. I watched this, just to pause for a moment, this morning, because I watch all different videos all the time in life, and it's very rare when you watch something, and this is what transparency does, people, when it's not an act. I felt as though I put on a Netflix movie, and I was not going to leave it until the very end.
Wow.
And for me, the whole story, personally, is what I would call for me, everyone wants to be a writer. This is what I think. Everyone has a story and trauma. I'm going to put it in a book. That's why I've got this. I mean, I'm probably on my third book, but published my first. Yeah. But I don't believe everything is to be put out. Everyone is not going to be a writer. They can be, but everyone's a writer. Does that make sense? Technically, you can say you are, but, not you, people. But when I heard this story, I thought, that's a book to read, and that's a movie to be produced.
I started
End
it already.
Yeah, end of. I would actually want to see this, or you shared in the video, in movie form. So can you share with us, before you proceed, it wasn't the video self-discovery, it was another video, something about, please remind us what the video was called, where you shared this story about how when you left Haiti. What was that video, so people can please go look that up and see it, just watch you for themselves.
No problem. So it's called The Traumatic Story of How I Left My Country. If you go to my Instagram, I have a page. I mean, I have a link that's going to send you directly to my YouTube, where you have all my videos.
It's just worth watching. It really is, because I literally felt fixated. But please continue. So you were 14 months old, and your mum gave you something to hand to grandma, and you carry on.
Yeah. I said to her, I know you're leaving and you're not going to come back. And all I can remember of her was tears on her face. But like I mentioned, that is really to explain to you, like, she wasn't going to work and coming back the night, So even that cuddle wasn't allowed, because she just wanted to trick me in order to just leave, because she didn't want to see the sadness. And I have a daughter now. I don't see myself more than 3 days without her. And I do know the way I mother her has a lot to do with my childhood. But
is that a good, or is that a negative or positive? Because sometimes people are overbearing based on their childhood. So how do you find that you are as a mother?
In a positive way. I'm talking about the loving side of being a mother. But for me to forgive my mother, I had to become a mother. On her own, because I hated her without knowing the reason why she left. She left out of love. It was hard for her, but she left because she wanted me to survive. And the woman that I become after my story, after owning my story, I don't want to ever forget where I came from. And that's why I do everything that I do. That's why I share my life. It's not something that I'm doing for the show, because it's so private, as you can see. And I can tell you that everything I have shared on my YouTube channel so far, it's not even a drop into my life. I'm planning on going deeper into my life as a person, for one reason, because it's hard to live your life without knowing how to forgive. And for me, my true happiness was really when I actually forgive myself first, and forgive my mother, and forgive everyone that hurt me before. That's why I'm out there talking about my life, because living with that hate, I did once. And it's not something I wish for no one.
Yeah. So your mom left. And that was the last time you saw her at that time, before the individuals showed up with those photographs. So you're on this long car journey from one destination to another. Let's talk about that. She did
come back at some point, She did come back. I'm 7 years older than my sister. So she already had my sister when she came back, because I remember she came back with a baby and left again. So she came back after 4 years with a baby and left me.
How did that
It
make you feel? Because I have people that have experienced that. How was that for you?
At this point, when she actually went back with my sister, but not with me, that's when I started hating her.
Mm-hmm.
And I started also to hate myself. And
How do you feel about your sister? Did you have any resentment towards her, even though it wasn't her fault?
I felt like I was going to have, because she didn't stay long. Maybe she was like 6 months old when she came. Maybe they stayed for less than a month. Mm-hmm. But after I met my sister for the first time, I just wanted to protect her because I didn't want anything that happened to me to happen to her. And up to right now, we are just like that. Mm. But at first, I was very jealous when she left. I felt like, oh, now you have a new baby. You don't want the ugly one. You don't want the not so good one. You don't want the dark one, because my sister was lighter than me. And I grew up with that issue and dark skin, even though
Can I touch on that before we continue, as you've gone there? And I was trying to find a moment to interject this one point, not staying on it too much, but just to emphasize on this point. There was a part before you left, or even I think once you got to the other side and you went to a temporary school, remind me if I'm incorrect, where you experienced the colorism issue. And I believe you wanted to be a beautician as a little girl. You wanted to be a beautician, and you was told from your teacher, you're too dark.
Too dark, yeah.
I was bemused. I was perplexed. I couldn't understand how a teacher would say, because you're too dark, you can't do beauty work. Was that based on the fact? Yeah. What was that? Go into that for a moment.
The way she did it, it was like, because what I was doing, it was part training in a beauty shop, but you're in school as well. It was difficult for us, 3 of us black girls, to find a shop to be able to do our training. And one day we were in the class saying that we've been trying to find a placement, but we couldn't. She said exactly, I'm not gonna lie. So the way she said it, it wasn't like she was being rude towards us, the way she covered it. She said, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, you have to be realistic in this world. They don't tend to take black people in a beauty shop.
Black people or non-fair skinned people? Which one was it?
She said black.
Even though you're in Haiti?
It wasn't Haiti, that was in France.
I was in France. Yeah, right, I'm glad you corrected that.
Yeah, that was in
France.
Your
dream was to be a beautician. Do you still want to be a beautician? Is that still part of you? Was that being washed out of you?
Never. But what it was, I was just trying to find myself. Maybe I was 17 when that happened. I was trying to find myself, but I wanted to stay connected with my grandma, because I connect with fashion with my grandma. It was the world of beauty, and I always felt that she was so beautiful and elegant. She used to wear her beautiful hat. That's what I love when I see a woman with a hat. My grandma used to have different color hats. So
if you want to have a hat party, I'm the house to come to. Well over 100.
That was my grandma. That was my grandma back then. But no, she didn't really kill that dream, but it wasn't really my dream to be a beautician. I just wanted to connect with creativity in different ways.
Okay. What was that like, though, in that moment, receiving that comment that based on being black?
Because I grew up with the issues around being black, I just felt like...
And where did that come from? Where did the beginning of your colorism, complexion, where did that actually come from for you? Well, who interjected that first negative impression that you were left with?
It happened with my aunt. Before my mom came back home with my sister, my aunt came, because they were both living in the same country, which is French Guyana. My aunt came, and the first thing she did to me, she combed my hair with that hot comb. But she used to bleach herself as well. And after she combed my hair, she burned my scalp. She told me, now you're beautiful. And she always used to make comments about, I'm a dark, like she used to say, oh, you stayed too much under the sun, that's why you're so dark, the sun is burning you, something like that.
And how young were you at this time?
When I left Haiti, I was 8, so I was under 8.
It angers me a little bit, do you know that? I'm going to be honest. And guys, just for a moment, this is me being honest about, this is the part of me that I don't like. Yeah. And people say, I'm an empath. People brag about being empaths. I don't like being an empath. Because empath means also you take on the energy of someone that's gone through something, and it affects me. That pissed me off when I heard that.
It pissed me off as well.
It pissed me off, yeah. And can I tell you why it pissed me off, guys? And on the flip side, the gratitude I have. Let me explain to you before you proceed, because my face has just gone like this. I want to know why, yeah? I grew up in a household, thank goodness, different to some of my peers, where the truth is I didn't realize I was fair-skinned, as what people call me. I didn't realize I was. And I'm glad that everybody else has so many experiences, even those who were fair-skinned, they grew up knowing they were. Yeah, they're better. My household, I didn't know any different. To this day, if someone made a comment, my mum would say, don't tell her that, her head will get too big. Don't tell her that. And my mom, to this day, my mom would be like, look at this woman. Because my mom always celebrated dark-skinned people. My mom's your complexion, or maybe one little bit lighter. She always celebrated dark-skinned people. And it was never light or dark. She just always said, look at that cool, dark, midnight man. So it was never discussed complexion in my house. Anyone that remotely bigged up light skin, my mum would always have that balance. So I grew up dating light-skinned boys, but then going for the dark-skinned guys, because I love all shades of black people, but I have this little fetish for dark-skinned men, yeah? My son is probably a tiny bit lighter than you. So I didn't grow up with all this colorism, but I have friends who has grandmas that will say things like, do you like your kids that dark? How can you say to your adult child, do you like your kids that dark?
I think the issue is, when you understand what happened, it doesn't give them reason, but
it doesn't.
Like I
said,
it's so
damaging.
I try to understand, because understanding helped me to forgive, yeah? Because I have so many people I could just hold on to my hate, but I don't want to do that, because first of all, I'm just destroying myself as a person. But I try to understand, because those people who actually made comments about my skin were dark as well. That's
why they did it.
So I'm just asking, like, why? So I'm trying to understand where it came from. You go all the way back, we've been brainwashed. We've been programmed to hate ourselves.
And also, let's be frank, right? We know that we call it slave mentality, blah, 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 but we're living in the 21st century where there's an awakening that you have a choice. We have a choice. You've got people my age still bleaching themselves. You have a choice to either accept who you are or you don't. But yeah, that's where it's come from. Asians do it as well.
I used to think that, but when I see myself, who used to hate myself but knowing myself, to the person I am now, that is just, I'm in love with myself. If I could marry myself, I would do it. That's how much I love myself.
Oh, yeah, but you should.
Because I'm sitting there and I'm here now, I try to understand. Yes, it happened a long time ago. Yes, we have the choice. But it's like DNA. Those type of trauma are stuck to us. And if we are not strong enough to go and dive into the issues to try to fix it, we're just on repeat mode.
I was just going to say, generational curses. It takes a strong individual to break those chains. Before we get too much further into that, allow us viewers to also hear the ending of when you had that last journey and you was in the car and you went and you met your mother. Let's go back there before we get too stuck there. Is that okay? So people can hear like what happened next when did she meet her mom?
Yeah, no problem. So the last stop was when I met my mother.
And how long was you traveling for? How long was you traveling from the first man who brought the picture to meeting your mom?
I could not tell you. I am still searching for the sake of my book to know the reality of things, but I have a lot of information I don't know. Did I travel for a month? I will not be able to tell you. So I don't know how long I traveled for. It is what it is, but I will find out because I want to. So from that point, I have lost any hope of seeing my mother. I just said to myself, it is going to be whatever they plan for me, but I do know it's not going to be my mom. So for me now, to be in front of the door, the man knock on the door, and I see my mom, I felt a bit strange because I felt like, okay, I fell asleep in the car before, and every time I wake up, I'm still in the car. So I'm sure right now I'm going to open my eyes and I will still be in the car. So I can't be happy because it's not real. That's how I felt. But then I remember she grabbed me. I didn't feel nothing. I was empty. It just felt like it wasn't real. But then I slept at home. I woke up the next day thinking I was still in my dream, in my nightmare, that there is no point on being happy because it's not going to be real. It was just weird. When I realized that it was true, it was my mom, I tried to connect with her, but I was missing what I knew, because what I had of my mom was the dream I had, yeah? The dream I built of what is going to, my mom's going to be like. But she was nothing like that. For me, she was nothing like that. So I was just disappointed. And I was missing the woman that I know for real. My mother, the one who raised and loved me, the one who told me it was okay to wet the bed at night. And I'm in front of this woman, arguing with me over little things, shouting at me because I'm wetting the bed. I was just scared. It was so different. She was always busy. I understand it now, but I'm talking as the child that I was for you to understand. Yeah, she was busy. She had jobs to do, and all of a sudden, I become a mother to my daughter, to my sister. So I felt like, okay, maybe that's why you wanted me, just to look after my sister, but it's not for me. I started missing my grandma more and more. I didn't go to school because I didn't have papers at the time. When I finally did go to school, I was excited. And every time I'm excited, I feel like, oh, they're going to destroy me again, because that's exactly what happened. Got to the school, but they didn't like me because I was Haitian, because I couldn't speak French properly. I had a weird accent. I was the beast, you know. And it's just like...
You said you look different to them. That part also I was keen to find out. There's black children there. Why were they treating you like you were so different? What was it? So your accent, what else? You said your features. Did you look totally different to everybody else? Is that what it was?
Well, you can see my features. I look very African, and I say it with proud today. But you know, sometimes, and I think you can see in some people, some Caribbean people, they feel like, it's kind of like you want to get rid of the African side of you for some people, not everyone, obviously. So it was a mixture of everything. And at the time, they didn't like Haitian people. No one liked us.
Why is that?
I'm still trying to understand.
Being in London, am I allowed to say? See, I don't know why that was for French, but being in London, I said this to the last guest that was on here, who's from Nigeria. Every country, continent, town, centre, whatever you want to call it, region, has a reputation. We're not unique. If you're Irish, gypsies get hell as white people. Haitians, Jamaicans, I mean, I'm mixed origin. My father's Dominican, my mom's Jamaican. Yeah. Haitians, how do I say Haitians? Yeah.
Yeah, Haitians.
All have only one reputation that you hear about in London, but yet none of us has been there to prove it. Jamaicans, one reputation, but half the time they confirm why people think the way they think because of your bloody behavior. I'm being real, yeah? So I've never met anyone, I've never had a Haitian friend, so I have no evidence. But there are rumors of every country and culture that I can tell you why people say of Haitians.
I think from what I understand is, first of all, from fear. You know, you're scared of what you don't know, but also ignorance as well.
So what do you think that is? I'll tell you, in London, and a lot of Americans, they don't really fuck with Haitians, to be frank, because they say that Haitians are deep in witchcraft and voodoo. I think you know the reasons. I'm not saying, disclaimer, I'm not saying that's the truth. Yeah. What I'm saying is,
I had that as well. I grew up with that.
As long as I've been living my 45 years, whether it's documentaries, whether it's people, whether it's my sister who dated one, it's known to be the birthplace of voodoo, witchcraft, and a lot. My dad has honestly said, apparently, he's not in Dominica now, that Haitians who wanted to run to Dominica, even those who wanted to run there after the flood, Dominicans didn't want them didn't want Haitians to come over because they're so deep in witchcraft. Now, every country has witchcraft. Every country has good and bad, but Haitians are notoriously known. That's what I'm telling you, what I've always known.
Okay, so from what I can say as a Haitian person, but one thing, just to finish with the discrimination, what I used to hear, obviously there was the voodoo side of things, the negative voodoo side of things, but also people were saying that Haitian are coming to take our jobs. That was the thing I grew up with.
Well, in France? In France?
From the time we were in French Guyana.
Now, I never knew that.
Talk about the voodoo side. You know, when you want to destroy someone, what do we do? First of all, if you are numbered, we have to divide you. Yeah? Now, I'm talking not just as a Haitian, but as a Black person, as a Black woman who knows about my story. Yeah?
So before you go on, I would love you to clarify for viewers, because I know a lot of people not quite honest and being real about what lies behind. Are you saying that there's none of that exists in Haiti?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people need to understand where certain things are coming from. Where the you know, the media, the way they're trying to control you, to make you think what they want you to think about something, someone, or a place. Yeah? So now, what is voodoo? Yeah? Voodoo is what we are as Black people.
There's a difference between voodoo and hoodoo. There's a lot of, guys, just for the record, there's a lot of renditions that we don't seem to know about. And I always say this when I come to these types of talks. Some will say, you know, that Westerners has brainwashed us and that's why we think that everything's bad. I've got a lot of African friends. I've grown up with Nigerians my entire life. I lived and was raised for 5 minutes with Ghanaians. So when I say certain things, it's not what I've been brainwashed, it's what they've told me for a fact. Does that make sense? Of course. My sister has dated a Haitian. So I often sit back and think, okay, so there's good and bad in everything and in everyone and in every country. There's light and there's dark in everything. There's no yin without yang. But what we must do is not deny some of these facts. Yeah. So although we know that they divide and we've been brainwashed and we've been told that everything, you know, but I always say to people, not everything, just because we're searching for our ancestors and that connection that we've had robbed from us, be mindful, not everything African is for you to take up and do. Not everything Caribbean, I must go back into 50 years of practice and do. There's a time and a place. It's the 21st century. So I think that's what it is. Clearly, you know, there's actually witchcraft in Haiti. Clearly, you know that because I've grown up with some of these people.
Course,
yeah,
does that? The issue is I understand what you're saying, Bill. Good and bad in everything is
everything. Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, the point I'm trying to make is, we as Black people, we had a different type of spirituality. We had a different belief. Yeah. So before we become all this Christian and every name that you can think of, we had our own way of doing things. We had our own way of being us. Yeah. So now,
definitely
my name, and I'm sure that will be the same for you, and my real name, that is lost. But
that's why I rebirthed myself and renamed myself.
So that's what I'm trying to make people understand. Voodoo is a religion like any other religion.
It is voodoo a religion?
It is a religion. It is used to help and heal, and we do things in a way to connect with who we are. But
what about the dark side? But it's not to heal. What do you call that then?
Some people are going to do it to do bad things. Some Christians kill over God, don't they?
Oh my God, yeah.
Should we say that all Christians are bad? And that's what pisses me off when they talk about voodoo. If you ask me as myself, I do not know anything about voodoo as such, because I left Haiti early. I was young. My mom doesn't practice that. My mom was a Christian. I came from a Christian family.
Okay.
But, like, people see Haitian as being obese, but to understand to understand what is being Haitian, you can't take just one thing. You have to take everything.
Yeah.
You need to remember what Haitian did to free people from slavery.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a whole different part of this. That's what I mean by it's good and bad in everything and everyone.
Yeah.
But what we focus on is just good, and it can't be realistic. Do you know what I mean? It can't be.
To understand everything, you have to have a knowledge of different part of that thing.
Definitely.
So that's what it is.
By the way, guys, disclaimer. The reason why I touched on that today is because Lady D here spoke about, you know, what people think of Haitians. And I thought I wanted to ask and let her know from her perspective, why do you think that is? But because we weren't getting there, I thought, okay, let me tell you one reason why people don't want to fuck with Haitians. Yeah? But yeah.
But if you think about it, if that was really the whole truth, from me, if I think someone is a witch, I let you be. They didn't let me be.
Yeah.
They didn't let me be. Because if I was a witch, they would have seen that, but they did not let me be. They were telling me I was the witch. I do bad things, but they were doing bad things to me.
So they called you these names?
Oh yeah, I had it all. Dogs, everything you can think of.
And just purely because you're from another place?
Haitian. Yeah, because I was Haitian.
So these are the children, or was adults involved in this abuse?
It was mostly children.
Okay, so they've learned it from...
Well, you learn it from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you went to school also. That's where you went to school in is it the south of France? Sorry, remind me.
So at first I was in French Guyana, which is next to Brazil. And then we traveled to France later on.
Okay. And how did the impact on the name calling? Because I was watching in your video, and I can't recall which part now, where you speak about, I wondered when I listened to the part of what you experienced in school, that you went to school temporarily before mum sent you to go and meet dad. Am I right? Yeah? Okay. And then I was wondering, because the video you put on where you speak about you wouldn't believe what happened, and I thought, she had surgery. Where? I'm watching this video, guys. She tricked me. She tricked me. Yeah, it's great.
I tricked everyone.
Yeah, she tricked me. And you know what I love? When you're at the shower and you say, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I love that intro. I love that intro. Yeah, I love the intro. Yeah, I'm ready. I love it. And she speaks about, Lady D speaks about having surgery. And I'm in my head, she's got me strung along the whole time. And I'm thinking, what part of her had surgery? Because it wasn't obvious to me. I'm like, the bum, no, that looks natural in the bikini. Boobs, no, they look normal size. What part of her? Yeah, the nose looks black, face looks black. What's going on? But in the end, she speaks about the inner surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so ahead of myself. I wrote down surgery, which part? I know, I swear to God, I won't even show you. I had to cross it out. Yeah, I had to cross it out and be like, her inner surgery. So touch that part as we slowly get to the climax, as we close slowly, where you went from the name calling, being put down, the complexion and the abuse from auntie who was hot combing your hair, to the children at school, and how that affected you so much, to then being able to do the inner surgery. How did that transition take place?
So after everything that happened, all the abuse, I was just losing myself little bit by little bit. But at some point, I was tired of fighting myself, because I left France, came here. I was leaving all the people who hurt me behind every time I changed country, but I carried them with me. So when I did that video, I just wanted people to really think that I was talking about surgery. And then,
it was great. I really loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I love what you done. That's how quick. Do you know why that was good? Because it triggered how quick we have an opinion. Everybody judges. People are scared of this word judge. Judge just means strong opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was already trying to find out which part did you have the surgery before I even heard the rest.
Everyone.
Yeah, but that was a great test for my character whilst watching that. So that was really good. Yeah. So how did you get the transition from all of that? Would you call it just insecurity? Was there any self-hate at all? Was it that deep, or was it not?
Self-hate. It was a lot. Because I've been fed all the rubbish, so somehow I became that rubbish inside. But
did it affect your relationships with men?
Yeah.
Did it affect
all my life? I felt like it was on the outside. So I was making clothes to look nice outside. People would compliment it, but still inside I wasn't there. So that's why I said I had to fix what was one inside of me. It happened on the day I gave birth to my daughter. My biggest fear became my joy. every day, she's what kept me going. So when I gave birth to her, held her in my arm, and I was crying, not because I was happy, I was scared. And I said to her, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to give you the best. I'm going to keep the worst away from you, but all I know is the worst. So I have to work on myself. I have to fix myself to be able to handle you, because you are so beautiful. You deserve me to be beautiful.
So before the healing, I need to ask this bullet point question. Before the healing and the inner surgery, did these inner emotions affect your dynamics in personal relationships within your personal love life?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Okay.
I lived my life thinking like, whatever you give me is what I deserve. I can't ask for more, even though inside I was hoping to have more. I let a lot of people put me down, use me. And my relationship with men after what happened, at first I was scared of men. I was scared of being next to any type of, you know, male. But, you know, in school, you talk about sexuality, you talk about different things. That's when I started to understand what happened to me. That's when I could name it, but still I was too ashamed to share with anyone. So I kept it inside of me. I was acting like I was strong, but I was very, very vulnerable. So like I said, you give me half. I felt like I wanted more, but that's fine. I felt like I was blessed enough for you to even look at me. So whatever you wanted from me, men just use us. They just come and do what they want to do and then leave. So I grew up thinking like that. Same thing with friends as well. I couldn't trust people. I just couldn't trust anymore. I could not love anymore. I just wanted to be by myself. I was really isolated until I met my dear friend, who up to right now is my friend. Is
that the lady behind the camera?
The lady behind the camera is my sister.
Oh, because you mentioned that you have. Is that? Am I thinking? You mentioned the girl behind the camera. That the one that's on tape with you. I thought that was your bestie. Am I incorrect?
No, everyone like. Which video? Are we talking about the same video?
No, I got to watch a clip on. I think you spoke about she was learning languages and things like that. I watched like 3 seconds.
That's my sister.
And I think you met. That's your sister. Okay.
Yeah, that's my sister. I met my best friend. I was 13 years old. She had a tough time with me because I did not trust people.
This is what I'm thinking about. Who came to your house and said, "Cry, but don't stay down there. Let's go. Get up."
Yes,
that's your best friend, isn't it?
That's her up to right
now.
Yeah,
I watched everything. Yeah.
So I got to a point where I wasn't living at home anymore. Maybe 18. I wasn't at home anymore. I was into the care system. I was living in a studio flat. But my best friend was in my life from the time I was 13 years old. Yeah.
Did you say you went through the care system?
Yeah.
Right. So was you fostered, or were you in a children's home?
It wasn't in a children's home because I was too old at the time. But it was like we all have our own studio, or we share. But we have the community center where we have help.
In between. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
She has been there to pick me up from the floor. She has been there to see me going through my ugly. But still, she loved me for who I was without even knowing everything that she knows of me now. She gave me hope when no one else did. She was by my side. And I remember, you know, we were young. We didn't have money. I could call her anytime just saying, I don't feel well. She will come from 2 hours away to come to see me and spend the weekend with me. And she said to me, you can cry. It's okay to cry, but you have to wake up. You can't stay on the floor. And funny enough,
is she on the live now?
She's not. No, she's not.
If she was watching right now, what would be the one thing you'd want to say to her?
I have to say it in French, and then I will translate because she only speaks
French. Please go, do it. Let's go.
Donc, Lady Franny, je te dirais merci parce que tu m'as accepté tel que je suis, sans même savoir tout ce que je cachais au fond de moi. Tu m'as aimé inconditionnellement. Tu as été patiente. Tu as été à mes côtés pour tout. Donc, je te dis merci. So what I said to her name is Franny, but I call her Lady Franny. So she's Lady Franny, I'm Lady Diane.
Oh.
I said to her, thank you, because she loved me unconditionally. She accepted me for who I was without even knowing everything that she knows now. She has always been by my side, and she's still by my side up to right now.
Are you by her side as well? I hope that you mirror that. I hope.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel all emotional. That's amazing. There are good people out there, people. And I'm about to say to your bestie, if I saw her, if I even could say to her, thank her for being her. This also helps you heal and evolve. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Proceed. Where were we? I got
Just to end the chapter about my relationship with men. I remember at some point, if a guy come to me, I will tell them I'm lesbian. I would honestly say I'm lesbian.
They think I'm lesbian anyway, so.
I would say that.
Or bisexual. Okay, only some do wish I am, but go on.
That's what I used to say to them to escape. But you know what? What doesn't kill us make us stronger? But it was tough for me to grow up with this. It's not like in one of my videos when I talk about body confidence, it's not like something happened as an adult and I just had a lack of confidence or a bad day. I grew up with none. I just grew up with no self-esteem, no love for myself, nothing at all. So it was harder for me to build it, because if you know when something is nice, if you don't have it, you know what you want. But when you don't know nothing, you're just going out there to find it. It's long, it's tiring, it's very hard. And it has been hard for me. I was depressed.
So by the way, that video. Sorry?
I think I was depressed without knowing I was depressed. Everything I was going through, I just could not express it because I don't know. It wasn't in our language. We don't talk about depression. You have to be tough. You have to work hard. And then,
black folks coming to an awakening with all of that. In Hollywood, everyone's got therapists. They've made it cool.
I know, yeah.
I'm going to say this, and I don't care who feels away about this. When I watched Lady D today on another video, as she shows her bikinis and etc., and I'm looking at assessing her personality, but in between videos where she's talking about confidence, the reason why I personally can truly say I believe you could be an advocate of body confidence. I was watching you as a black woman with no makeup on talking about it. There lies the freaking difference. For anyone who's watched, I know people on my page who claim to be body confidence advocates. Hang on, I'm being real now. Let me sit up, yeah? Let me sit up and say this, because this is where I be real. I'm sorry, guys, I've got to keep this real. There are people, right now there's a trend, isn't there? Everyone wants to be a poet, podcaster. There's a trend going on with everything that's, people want to do. So it's like body confidence advocate. I've invited multiple people on this platform and said, come and talk about body confidence. Let's both take our makeup off on the live. Oh, no, I can never. Oh, my God. Hang on a minute. Wait. You are an advocate of being a body confidence person, but you have to come on with the wig, the makeup, the lashes, and the nails. Get that out of here. And that goes for everyone on my page who claims to be a body confidence advocate, and there's about 4 of you on it. Yeah? I like you, but that's bullshit. You can't talk about your body confidence advocate whilst you come with camouflage. Hello? When you said in your video, this sister's got her hair shaved all off. Let's talk about that. Shaved off, no makeup or near to no makeup on multiple videos. No filter, just her. Just her. Yeah, and this girl's got a banging body. I think her body's banging. Yeah, clearly all natural. Yeah. No, but I'm keeping it real. I'm not just saying it to be nice to you, because, girl, I'm not that girl. I keep it real. You come on as someone who can be an advocate, because you come on transparent and raw. You would make other women who claim they are uncomfortable. How about that?
Do I?
You're an advocate and you can't be yourself an advocacy. That's bullshit.
You know what, yeah? On my birthday, not too long ago, I did this. with my bottle. I'm going to read what it says.
Okay.
Happiness is when you are at peace with yourself. You are no longer running away. You accept your story for what it is. You are now able to turn ugly into beauty, weak into strength. Little Diane, you kept me safe. I am now setting you free. Go ahead, be happy. Be the child you deserve to be. Be free, be you. Every time I end my talk, yeah, I don't know if you see, I always say to people, remember, be you, be free. But what does that mean?
Being free is a journey. Being free is a journey.
And I think is, like you said, you have to accept yourself when you're naked. I feel in love with myself when I have nothing at all. When I'm in my
That's
shower.
why you're the real deal. I'm sorry, I've got a back. Yeah, you're the real deal.
That's why the intro was me coming out of the shower and say, I'm ready. That's me. I'm ready to do it.
And you wasn't done up. This is what I'm saying, people. I have to salute you. I have to give praise where this praise is due, okay? When I've asked multiple people, can you come on? And we can both take off the makeup. Yeah, everything. Me too. Hats, take it all off. I was told by 3 people no.
It's a journey.
Because you want to do a talk where you can be like this.
Do you know what I mean?
Or come on without the makeup. Come on raw. Like, and then talk about, you know. But anyway.
But you know what? I used to be like that. I used to, even to go downstairs to throw rubbish, I would actually either ask my little sister, that was when I was younger, or I would just put makeup on before I do it. But
so did I.
It's the inside. Because right now, in my video, I say it. When I was younger, my body was better. But I love it better now because I'm fixed inside. It's inside.
But you see, I can't challenge the younger you because you never put out a video talking about body confidence then. You did it now when you're ready to actually show who you are now. There's a difference. I always tell people, based on the impression they have of me, how I was and how I am today. I didn't even wake up with my son's father seeing me without makeup on. Clearly, that's the epitome of insecurity.
Yeah.
The postman didn't see me without a wig on. Are you crazy? are you cray? See me without makeup, about my wig? Yeah. So for me, that's what I meant when I first started doing videos like vlogs. You know, way back. I've deleted all of them, most of them now. I had to do it in my onesie with no makeup and 2 pigtails. I was devastatingly embarrassed, but I had to strip myself from all that nonsense. Yeah, does that make sense? That's why I have this new saying, which is going to be my next tattoo, where it says, I dare to be me.
Yeah.
So salute to you. Let's elevate to the next stage, which is talking about your book.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, we have to see that moment. I hope you learned and inspired about that moment because it's so important. We say so much things. I want to be influencer. I want to be. Just stop bullshitting yourself and getting carried away with social media, people. Seriously. Yeah, this is why I have to salute this woman because we all got good and bad and bullshit and praise in us. But when you could actually align yourself with who you say you are, that's why I'm bigging her up. She can come on raw, not a whole heap of filters. Yeah. Bikini, you can tell that it's natural body grains and all this kind of stuff and say, well, this is my moment in saying self-confidence. You're like, I've arrived. And I like it. It wasn't showing off. It was elevational. Big difference.
Thank you.
Big difference.
That's what I wanted it to be fair. So.
That's what I got from it. Is this between where I'm on the turn up and someone saying, no, this is turn out. I've grown. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, so I don't give out salutes too often, but salute. I respect that in you. Let's talk about the magic mirror. Guys, at this point, as we wrap it up on the talk of the autobiographical life of Lady Diane, let's talk about the magic mirror before we close. The magic mirror.
Magic mirror.
Yeah, that's it. Before we go into where we can buy it and, you know, and etc. Actually, yeah. Because then I want to talk, then you want to talk briefly about Haiti and what's going on. Yeah?
Yeah, no problem.
Talk about the magic mirror. What inspired you to write this children's motivational bedtime story?
My own childhood, you know. Like I said, growing up without any self-esteem, self-love, knowing who you truly are.
Mm-hmm.
And becoming a mother motivated me, because I remember, like I said before, when I was holding my daughter and I was crying, saying to her that I don't know how to do it, but I want to do it for you. So I started to share my stories with her, for her. At first, I didn't believe in anything I was saying to her for myself.
Yeah.
But I wanted to believe in it hard enough to give it to her. So that's how it started. I started sharing my stories before bedtime with her. It was my way to pray with her, because I've been through so much. I've been Christian. I try to find my faith in different way. I kind of mix all of them now. I believe in the universe. So whenever I go to bed with my daughter, I will make her praise herself for who she is. I will tell her little stories about the past, the now, and what can be changed in the future. That's how it started. So the magic mirror, I call it the magic mirror because I am at peace with the mirror now. I am not hiding anymore. There was a time like seeing the reflection of myself, I couldn't handle it, because everything I was seeing was just ugly for me. So the magic mirror is not only me making peace with myself, but also me being a voice for my baby girl. And when I saw how she's confident, how she loves her hair, she talks about her skin, her melanin. She's only 6, but she's very confident and
she's
proud.
so pretty. She's so pretty.
Thank you.
So pretty.
So when I saw the difference, I said to myself, you know what, if I can make another little girl feel like that, that would be it for me. So that's when I decided to share it.
Humble confidence, I say, put into children, because some children grow up to be so praised that they got a big head. There's no humbleness. A humble confidence is what I say is amazing when we can achieve that in our children. Feel free, if you're comfortable, to read a bit of your book. If not, you can just direct people to where they can go, where they can see it, where they can buy it. No problem. So The Magic Mirror is a short motivational book to help our little ones learn about their beauty and worth, to love themselves. I'm gonna read my daughter's favorite bit. Let's have a brief moment of what that sounds like. Yeah. So after little Diane questioned the mirror, it's a magic mirror who tells her a lot of truth about herself. So after she questioned the magic mirror, she said, "Mommy, the mirror chose me and told me all of these wonderful things." Mommy smiled knowingly and kissed little Diane. "Don't ever forget the truth you have learned tonight. If you ever need to be reminded, just look into the mirror and tell yourself all the beautiful things the magic mirror told you. My little Diane, my little queen, I love you. Good night." So you can name the character the mini version of you. Yeah. How dynamic. I quite like that. Now, I wish I had a magic mirror, because when I looked in the mirror on Monday, it showed how much weight I need to lose. The magic mirror is inside of you. Lady Di will tell you that you are beautiful the way you are, but you can still on yourself to be a better version of yourself. Do you know what my magic mirror tells me? And I said this to my friend Sandy on the live. I'm so honest with myself. I love myself in fractions. People's like, what do you mean? Be honest with yourself. Yeah, if you loved all you were, you wouldn't need to change anything. What it is about accepting yourself, processing yourself, and once you process yourself, you can grow into loving people. And I want to share this, guys, and I don't mean to rain on anyone's parade, all these posts that are going out, which is obviously positive about self-love. You don't go from self-demise to self-love. It's impossible. You have to then process your feelings, accept the bits you don't like, and then work on what you can eliminate and work on what you can improve. So my mirror says to me, girl, you are an evolving soul. Yeah? You love yourself in fractions, and that's all right. Yeah. You may not be where you want to be, but you're definitely closer to where you know, today than where you were yesterday. Lady Di, add yourself back on the live. She's jumped off. Let's add her back. Here we go. Lady Di, Lady Di, Lady Di. Here we go.
Hello, sorry, I think someone tried to call me.
No problem. So yeah, my magic mirror ain't really magic, and I'm all right with that. You know, in my real life. But as a child, I would have loved that book. Because I would have been here 15, 20 years ago had I read the magic book. So guys, please go out. And if you have a niece, is it more engineered towards girls, isn't it? Would you say?
Yes, it is.
Have a daughter, a niece, a friend who has a daughter. So, you know, if you work with children and you want to introduce it into your school, please feel free to support her book, written by Lady Diane. Show the cover one more time, my sister friend. The magic book
on Amazon. If you go on my Instagram, there's a link as well on my link tree that's gonna send you straight away to where you can have it.
Okay, and I'm gonna add all links on the bottom of this. Guys, as Instagram does not allow us to keep comments on the live, I'm going to download this to my page. Please feel free and add all the comments of what you thought about today's live in hope that Instagram is going to be kind today. Instagram's been taking my lives and it's been disappearing. It's been, yeah, so please don't let this live disappear, Instagram. Do me a favor. Lady Di, you've been an amazing live guest as we've discussed the autobiographical life of Lady Diane, life in Haiti, how you evolved and escaped from it and becoming an author. I have one more relevant question for you before you leave. What was it like for you tonight with me on Free Flowing Thoughts?
It was nice. I've learned. I like to connect with good people, you know, like exchanging is all that I am. Well, if you go through my channel, you know that I like to talk, I like to connect, but in a positive way, because when you see us today, how we are so connected to different things, but not to ourselves anymore, who we are supposed to be as people, it's something that whenever I have time to do it, it's really a great pleasure. Because not only I'm connecting with myself, but I'm connecting to you, but you are also part of me as human being. So thank you for having me tonight. I had an amazing time. Sorry, I was on and off because Wi-Fi, you know how it goes.
It's fine. Yeah. We're unapologetic. Thank you so much for the energy exchanging for me today. It's been really, really nice. We wish you all the best with your future endeavors, and of course it would be nice for you to come back on at some point soon and keep
I will come back at any time.
Yeah,
I just have a last message that I would like to send out.
Please, yeah.
Because like you know, I'm from Haiti, and on the 14th of August there was an earthquake again in Haiti. This time it happened in the town I was born in, my hometown in south of Haiti, killing nearly over 2,000 people, sorry, living like nearly 400 people still missing. Right now, I am trying to help my community anyhow that I can. We are trying to collect some donation like clothes, food to send back home to the one in need. So everything is on my Instagram. There's a link. You can contact me directly to see how you can support. But one thing I would like to say to my country, I wrote this 2 minutes before I come on the live with you. I called it One Nation. Mother Nation. Far away, I can still feel your pain. Through the rain, I can still see your tears. Salted sadness calls down my face when I speak your name. I am a bomb ready to explode. To free your glory, speak loud your story. Mother Nation, I am sorry I left you behind to seek what you wanted from me, freedom. But Mother Nation, am I really free? Tonight, on Free Flowing Thoughts, I let my thoughts flow free. My heart is in tears. After all these years, all the sacrifices, despite everything you did for me to be, I'm still living far away from you. I am sorry I left you. Mother Nation, I miss you. I feel your pain. Through the rain, I can still see your tears. Mother Nation, I want you to know that I am here for you. Brothers and sisters, Mother Nation needs us. It's time to come together and be one nation.
Thank you so much. Poetry, penmanship from Lady Diane. And I love the free flame thoughts added to it, but well done. When did you write that? Today?
Just today, 2 minutes before the live. I was just...
Oh my goodness, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Lady D. Guys, before she goes, let's throw up some hearts for this woman. It's been a transparent and raw and emotionally evoking live, just as I love it. Yeah, so I'll put some hearts in a box for you. Lady Di, thank you so much. Please feel free to exit yourself where you see the little cross.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you next time.
And I'll see you soon. There you go. There's your love hearts. Thank you. Bye. Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, guys, I really enjoyed that talk. Let me share my afterthoughts. I love having talks within these type of realms because it's honest. And as you see, I'm not really the type of person that does everything, these type of talks on this particular platform, all about being showcased. I really love, the reason why I do this is the energy connect. And that's a blessing for me with everyone that comes on and choose to share elements of their soul. So today it's been guest speaker, Lady Diane, as we spoke about her autobiographical life journey. And also not forgetting, please check out her book, penned by herself, and it's entitled The Magic Mirror. Oh, I think I'm ready for a gin and tonic. Before I go, let's read some of your comments. Hi, thank you very much. Spoken, thank you very much. And thank you to everyone who joined. I see you soon. Peace and love.